Okay. I just need to turn this light on. Oh, yeah, turn this down. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Mama starts in a little bit, okay? How are y'all doing? Yes. Oh, this thing on here. Okay, let's see here. And let me see something. Minimize. Oh, okay. All right. Um, this, I can. Okay. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Mom about to do similar. Okay. Yes. Hi. Yes. Okay, you can't make all that noise now. Greetings and thank you for joining me on today. Yes, I greatly appreciate you joining me on today for today's seminar, Generating More Than a Buzz by Creating Digital Content. That's right. So let's go ahead on and get right to it. I like to start off by reading the First Amendment. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or the right of people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for redress of grievances. Okay, and with that, I'll go ahead on and get started. Yes, so thank you again for joining me. We are definitely on time. I like to be on time. It took me a while to get to this moment, but I think being on time is really great. It's really great, and being and showing up for yourself is excellent also. So let's go ahead on and get started. Generating more than a buzz by creating digital content. The future of digital media is bound by the needs of consumers and the imagination of media developers, as diverse as the people who are online today and going online tomorrow. And that excerpt comes from Media Impact and Introduction to Mass Media 6th edition. Digital media could become a pure reflection of the real universe than any medium yet created with unprecedented potential to both reflect and direct the culture. What is digital media? All forms of emerging communication media combine text, graphics, sound, and video using computer technology to create a product that is similar but clearly different from traditional media. That's right. So digital media is pretty much the wave and it is here to stay. I tell you, we have definitely advanced, from the TV. I mean, we started with black and white pictures. We have color pictures now, and now we have high definition resolution. I mean, the picture and the quality is so amazing right now that, I mean, it's just like, wow, you can almost, it gives it like a 3D effect, to where it's like you're almost in the picture with the character. Moving right along, getting to know creators. What is a digital content creator? That's an excellent question. Any person, individual, or entity which has the capability to take a concept from development to execution by utilizing a digital medium such as a digital camera, video camera, tablet, laptop, or a desktop computer with ability to broadcast over a specific time interval greater than 60 seconds on a different spectrum, wavelength, and frequency of delivery to a particular audience, community, client, political organization, or entity. Okay, so like I just expressed how the TV has, we've gone from, a black and white picture to color pictures to now we have high definition resolution to now you can, watch shows on your smart devices, on your tablets, on your computers, so technology has afforded us this opportunity, yeah, and it's really great, moving right along. That's right. Okay, and before I move along, I just would like to share, you know, digital content creators, um, they are really the new wave, kind of how like rap artists are to record labels, digital content creators are that impactful and important and vital, to today's society, because without them, it's not much we'll be paying attention to, or watching for that matter. Oh, and I have some green um smoothie I'm drinking. Yeah, I made that. All right, moving right along. Roles in digital media. What is a journalist? A member of the fourth establishment responsible for ensuring checks and balances. They must have training. They present viewpoints, conduct interviews, responsible for research, maintain and upholds journalistic ethics principles and morals at all times. Now, this is just a few pointers for a journalist, but I do recommend you definitely want to go and enroll in some type of university, community college, or a fellowship or something to definitely get you some training to hone in on your skill. Um, if you've never had any journalist training, because it is imperative out here, especially among these eras of misinformation, of fake news, of all these other types of things. So you want to definitely have you enough knowledge and wherewithal of the field, excuse me, to help you sustain yourself out here. Okay. All right. What is a content creator? Responsible for delivery of creative concepts, values, customs, and belief systems differ from that of a journalist. They must be accountable for the content which they create. They share expressions that are executed in reality. They're curious and passion for the craft. And what I will also say is, and for journalists, you have proprietors that send, journalists out into the world and write about all sorts of things. Now, does it have to be truth? You want it to be true, but that's your responsibility to also go and validate and verify and do your research on what that is that was just reported, because it is not the fault of the publication per se that you're reading the article on, or the digital content that will be responsible for an error. It's solely the writer or the content creator. So that's something you want to keep in mind, and yeah, and a content creators, you definitely want to ensure that you have done your research, about just kind of what ways you want to deliver the content, and actually, and being responsible and accountable for the content. Either way, one day you will be held responsible and accountable. So you always want to make sure that you are actually, your motives and your intention is coming from, a good, genuine place. You want to always ensure that it's coming from a genuine place. Let me do a little something with this light here. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Let's see. Bring it. Okay. No, that didn't. Okay, that's a little bit better. And yeah, well, it's okay. That's it. That's it. Yeah, have to get that lighting together. Yes, and as a content creator, that's one thing you want to always ensure that you have a clarity in your picture, you have great lighting. I mean, me personally, I like to work with a lot of natural light. So because I'm outside in the environment a lot, I'll make sure that the natural light is in a good setting. I do keep a um producer's light with me, just in case I need to enhance um the area. All right, moving right along. And that leads us right into our next slide. What tools are required? So we talked about lighting, so you definitely want to have that lighting there. Okay. A passion for pursuing digital content creation. Okay, now we're going to chime in a little bit more on that right there. Okay. Um, you want to ensure that you maintain the same energy and same enthusiasm all the way through from start to finish. You want to ensure that you maintain that passion is there, because you're going to need it. You're going to need it. Not all the time you will be as motivated, and inspired, so it's going to be that passion that helps drive you to go ahead on and put that content out there, or go ahead on and get that beat story or whatever it is that you're pursuing that particular day. All right, moving right along. You're going to need an internet service provider. Yes, that is key. Oftentimes we don't think that we will need various facets of technology to help us deliver. But being a digital creator, I tell you, it requires different um facets, such as internet. You have to have computers, you want to have things of that nature. And you can also, for your internet service provider, I mean, I am using the affordable connectivity program. So, hey, you might want to jump on that too. But you want to make sure that you have an internet service provider that understands that you are a digital content creator. And, those upload speeds matter, those download speeds matter, your data plan really matters, especially when you are a digital content creator. A lot of storage is involved. So, and you want to make sure, just in case you have to jump on a Zoom or Facebook Live or something of that nature, that your internet service provider will be able to accommodate those needs right there. All right, and they offer a good service to help with what you offer, such as your digital content you're creating. Okay. You also need, like I say, a laptop, a desktop computer, a tablet, or you can use your smartphone. The smartphones have really become very, very savvy, to where it has applications that will allow you to create content from your phone. I mean, hey, if you're doing an interview and you want to go live on your whatever platform you use, a smartphone is great for that also. So I mean, technology has definitely helped us um advance in a way to get our creations out there, you know. So yeah, it's always pretty cool, you know. Some aspects of it are really cool when your intention and your motivation is in the right place, okay? All right. Now, you also need an email address. Yeah, what's very, like I said, you know, being a digital creator, it's various facets of technology that you will need in order to maintain a business or maintain your creation. You know, you definitely need an email address because how will people get in touch with you, or, you know, a prospective client, or, you know, your phone number. I mean, unless you want to give your smartphone number out all the time, that's good too. But you also want an email address. That way, it will better help you with, you know, your files and things like that, and maintaining your correspondence, and just knowing, just having that go to look at, you know, even it's electronic format, you can still print it out, you know, and just in case you have to go do an interview somewhere, you know, you have that information available and ready for you. And you can go right there to your email address. And, you know, you could do a Yahoo, a Gmail, a Ymail, um, various, you know, emails. I mean, you research what's good for you. I will say with Gmail, right now I am at capacity with my emails, 15 gigabytes. Um, I'm not sure how long, you know, I've been having the email address for some years, but as far as um the storage space, I wasn't sure how long they intended on allowing you free storage. You know, now they want you to pay for storage. But luckily I have Metro by PCS, and they have an agreement to where I'm able to get up to 100 gigs, I think, for free for backup. So it's good. And that's another thing. I mean, digital content creation, oh my gosh, again, requires a lot of storage also. So you want to make sure you have enough extended hard drives, you have enough USB portals to take with you, your, you know, your SD cards. You're going to need those things too. Excuse me one second. Blue, blue, blue. Excuse my budget. Blue, blue. Mama's doing a seminar. Blue, Mama's doing a seminar. Do you want to come over? Okay, you can come over if you like, but Mama's doing a seminar. Okay, thank you. All right. So, yeah, and we left off at email address. So be sure, you know, you have those email address and you have some that's functioning. I mean, me personally, I have about um 4 email accounts that I maintain. I had more than that, but I don't remember those passcodes, you know, so, and the passwords. So, yeah. So that's another thing. You want to be sure that you can manage those email addresses and email accounts also, because again, having to remember all those passwords and things like that, that's really challenging at times, you know. All right. You want to select a digital content platform to distribute the creation. And that's very important. Selecting the right platform. You know, currently a lot of people use YouTube. A lot of people aren't they're expressing and more vocal about um not um their distaste towards YouTube with regards to the type of content that they are I will say critiquing with a extra eye. So you have platforms such as Vimeo, you have platforms such as Patreon, you have Rumble. Um, what other platforms do you have? You have some other ones out there also. So be sure to check and see which platform best works for you, works for your audience, and works for the type of content that you're trying to distribute and deliver to your audience. That's always important. So I use Vimeo and YouTube. And I'll say I do notice a difference. One platform, you have to pay for storage, and YouTube, it's a subscription base. Some of the features allow you to earn revenue from the content that you create for your audience. Vimeo, I'm not sure if they have a program such as that, but I do know theirs is about $9.99 a month, and yeah, it's really worth it, I'll say. Again, so being that digital content creator, again, it's various facets to the tools that you need to carry out. I mean, again, it looks so easy, so simple. And yeah, I mean, I will say sometimes it really does. Excuse me. It really does. It looks very simple. Um I'm sorry, you guys, but this I guess how my lips are, I shouldn't be. I just want to, like that little crease. I don't know. I'm seeing it. Excuse me. That was a really just honest moment right there. Okay, so let's move right along. Selecting a digital content platform to distribute your creation. So again, that's very important, and research which ones are out there. That way, you are able to, really deliver a great content piece for your audience, and they know where to find you at, you know because sometimes my audience tells me they had to search for me in the YouTube streets. But it's good to know that they're looking for me in those YouTube streets. I mean, I tell you, you can definitely get washed away in those YouTube streets, especially if the algorithms and things of that nature aren't at a standard setting. You can definitely get washed away in those YouTube streets. And they have over 100 million users. So it's definitely easy to get washed up, in those YouTube streets. But I'm so thankful that my audience really cares about the content that I deliver, and they expect a certain quality of delivery, and they'll be looking for me in those YouTube streets. Yeah. And I appreciate that. All right. So plenty of patience. All right. Now, you definitely need plenty of patience. And what the Bible says, patience like Job. You need a lot of patience for digital content creation. Okay. Now, you need patience when it comes to this technology. Again, with your internet service provider, because for instance, say you're uploading some content and the upload is going to be an hour. Okay. You're going to need some patience with that. Of course, you're going to be anxious to see what it is, and how it's going to look. Oh my goodness. Yes, that is such an exciting moment. But you also have to be patient and allow the processing to take place. That way, it's uploaded to your account for your audience to be able to view the content in which you deliver. Yeah, and not only that, if you're conducting interviews, if you're a journalist and you're conducting interviews, you want to have patience with the interviewee. You want to also give enough time to get to your location, to set up, and to, just jot down any last minute questions. You want to have patience when it comes to your planning. Okay. Don't rush in your planning. Okay. Because guess what? What you don't realize, what's rush will show forth on the stream. It will. It's unfortunate, but at the same time, it also is great too because it can help you see that, just take some time, have a little patience in what it is that you want to present. Because remember, your content, you don't just want to put any old just trash can hit pieces out here. You want something to sustain you and to be able to carry you along the stream. That's the goal, something to carry you along the stream. And being though we're in this digital era, technology era, technology isn't going anywhere. It's only going to get more advanced. And that means that guess what? It affords you more opportunity to kind of research and gauge what different technologies, work for what you're going to deliver. Who knows by then, we might have a different type of platform versus, we might have a different streaming platform. Who knows? I might be the one to deliver the new streaming platform. We'll see. Don't count me out, on that. So, again, plenty of patience. I've been having a lot of patience, with a lot of things when it comes to this technology. And again, you also want to have patience when you're saving your content. Okay. That's why having an external hard drive is very important. Having those USB drives, those portable USBs, that's really, really important, because data, you don't want to lose any of your files, and again, storage, it takes a lot of storage space, and the laptop that I actually use a laptop for a gamer, and video creators and gamers. Yeah, so my processor is that one of it's a Core i5 processor, but it's one for gaming, because it's like, if I'm going to be creating content and things like that, I just need a system that's going to be able to function at that rate, at that capacity, and be able to deliver the graphics and the sound and that text and everything that I need for the digital creation. Yeah, it's very important. And that moves right along to right here, a software program to create your digital content. So yes, you have various software programs. I'm really a big fan of Adobe. I've been using Adobe, I'll say ever since I kind of got started 9 years ago. I've been using Adobe. Um, I do work on Pro, what's it? Pro Cut. Oh goodness, I can't oh gosh, I can't even think of the name of the other. Um, it's on Apple, it's an Apple digital content software. Final Cut Pro. That's it. Boy, I tell you, I have to reach in that data bank and memory bank and try to pull out. Yes, Final Cut Pro. So I am able to use that Final Cut Pro. I just don't have it on my HP. But I do like Final Cut Pro also, because it has a different variations of transitions and different type of editing you can use, but Adobe is great also. I really like Adobe. So these are some, I know, you have various ones you can download. You have those iMovie apps that will help you um do edit your video from your smartphone. So just figure out which ones work for you. You also have Microsoft comes with a editing software. So just in case you don't have the funds to go out and purchase a software, you can definitely start with what's already programmed in your operating system, and that's always a great place to start, just in case you are an amateur with your editing, because that's another thing. Again, like I said, it's various facets of this digital content creation. And it looks so simple. It really, really, truly does, but a lot goes into it if you are passionate about what it is you're presenting to your audience. That really matters. All right. Now, okay, you also want a website or social media page which displays your work. Yeah, so having a website is, probably your number one thing that you want to work on. Um, Getting you a website. That way, prospective clients are able to see your work. Um, you are able to promote your business. You are also able to showcase your work, and you also help. This can give you potential new clients, prospective new clients, and this is a great way to also maintain your data, so having a website helps with all of those things. Again, like I said, you need that email address, you need all of that. So when you have that website, you can put that email address on the website and all of those things right there. You can have that one-stop shop location for people to see your content, get in touch with you, and just in case you don't put your rates on your website, they can send you an email and you can then reply to their email with your rates. So having a website also is really, really important. And if you're not able to, if you don't really feel comfortable with a website just yet, you always have, social media. So, just creating a Facebook page, a Twitter page, an Instagram, they don't have fan base anymore. They got rid of that. Using Gab, any of those new what's the truth social, using any of those sites to help is also great too, because again, you need something to showcase that you are capable of creating what you say you can do. As a content creator, you want to be able to showcase your work. You don't want to say you're a content creator, someone reaches out to you to commission for some work to be done, and you aren't able to deliver. That's not good faith effort. and that's not honest business. That's very misleading and negligent, So again, you want to ensure that you have, all of the information needed. Now, a website is a brochure, okay? The website is the brochure. The website does not answer all of the questions. That's not the purpose of a website. Only time you want to refer people to your website is for them to get a kind of overview or just gain a little insight into what type of content you create, what type of stories that you write, what type of offerings your services, your business offers. Okay. Outside of that, you don't want to just refer people to your website. You also want to be able to communicate, to articulate verbally with them what it is that they're looking for, things like that. You want to maintain a very personable kind of decorum when it comes to this content creation. Remember, they are the client, okay? You are the creator. They are paying you to develop a concept and execute it. So therefore, you have to work with what they want. You understand? And with that, oftentimes not everything is going to be on your website for this particular client. I'll just use as an example, I had one client I met out at an event. I was taking pictures and I was approached by a client and they wanted to know if I was a photographer. Well, I'm a journalist, a digital content pioneer, digital media pioneer. Photography was where I actually started in photography in high school in 12th grade. So yes, I do take pictures, but I don't consider myself a photographer. I consider myself more of a digital content creator, digital media pioneer, and journalist. But photography, I mean, I've done it in the dark room. I've developed pictures and things like that. So my experience with photography is over 20 years, so the client was like, do you do photography? I was like, okay, sure, I can do it. So the client then asked, how much do you charge? Now, what I will say is you don't want to ever sell yourself short, but you don't want to also not get the deal. Okay. So how I approach the situation, I inform the client, I will work with what's in your budget. And that was the best option because that's how I was able to get the client and deliver for the client. So yes, this is a very lucrative business, but at the same time, you want to maintain clients. You want to maintain clients, and you want to work your way up the chain to where the business is really, you're seeing the revenue and things generate for you, outside of like the YouTube dollars and things of that nature. So with that, just be able to negotiate. But again, don't sell yourself short. But if you're working with someone and this is a new client, you want to ensure that you set a reasonable standard, because hey, if you maintain that relationship, depending on what they want next, they may want you to do a video for them for their website, So, hey, that might be a little bit, you might have to let the client know that, hey, although I worked in your budget the last time, this will entail a little bit more jobs, duties and skills and tasks in this particular performance. So, which, your time has to be compensated. You have to be compensated for your time. So, with that, you can put an increase in how much you will charge the client there. So, you always want to make sure you are um, using common sense, because you want to retain your clients. You want to keep them engaged with what you're doing, and you always want them to come to you first and not overlook you and go to somewhere else. Okay, so keep that little tip in handy. All right. Okay. Moving right along. All right. The shift in transition from the traditional news desk to blogging started early 2009, and by 2010, many legacy or outdated extraterrestrial stations started to take sabbaticals and stop printing their newspapers. During this time, much uncertainty had risen to the point of creating my own news outlet. And on July 31st, 2013, PR Wiz LLC presented Welcome to the Mindy Jo News Show, where she shares news that you can absolutely use. That's right. Today, in the 21st century, digital content creators have replaced many traditional news programs along with television programming with short docuseries on social media platforms such as Snapchat. All righty. So, again, I did not want my years of education, of schooling, of learning to be wasted. I wanted to be able to apply some of the curriculums in which I learned in my field of study. I have a degree in mass media journalism. So I wanted to be able to at least work in that field, but unfortunately at that time when I was graduating, that's when the bloggers were coming on board and really taking over, and I just said, I couldn't let all of this, learning and things just go to waste. I want to be able to apply something. So I did. I applied it, and I'm glad I did, because guess what? 9 years later, I'm able to present a seminar. Right. All right. A different format, style of delivery, along with frequency and sound waves. Digital content creation requires much use of energy, and the computer will be able to recognize when your tone is more passive or aggressive. So maintaining a decent pitch is suitable. A body of water which flows and other elements exist in its environment, but don't alter or interfere with the flow of water is considered a stream. So again, like I talked about, when you are creating those content pieces, and that patience, you want to be sure that you have patience when you're presenting, and you're planning also, because again, what you put in is what comes out, and you want to have content that's like vintage, classic content, content that, hey, one day you can show your children's children, your grandchildren, or your family members or something like that. You also want to create content to where, guess what? It will always be relevant, so that means, again, also planning, doing your research and what topics that you will discuss and things like that. So again, it's various facets to being a digital content creator that require you to plan and to put energy into what it is that you're doing. You cannot be lazy on these platforms. I mean, and especially once you set a certain standard for yourself or set a certain tone on this stream, it's your duty to maintain that. So in the event that you're not really feeling, like putting out any content, don't. Okay. Don't do it, because it will come across as if how you're feeling, and that's one thing. I don't like, to watch content and somebody's yawning and this, and they're sleeping, and I don't like that. I don't. You already turned me off and I'm already disengaged. Why? Because of what you're putting out. You're putting out being tired. You're putting out that you really don't want to be here. You're just here to say that you're here. So we don't want that, You want to be sure that you're putting in a good amount of energy, the right energy. That way, the right thing comes about, and your audience see that, hey, this was a really good show. I really liked it. I really liked your attitude, your enthusiasm, the energy that you brought, and considering right now everyone is so into this spirituality and all of these things, maintaining the correct energy level and bringing forth the right energy towards what you're going to deliver is very important also. Again, you don't want to bring anything stale. You want that kinetic energy. You want it to be continuous. You don't want to have, you're just dragging and, you don't want that. You don't want that, because it's going to come out. It's going to come out. You don't want to start on and you're yawning and, you're coughing and all types of things like that. You don't want those types of things. I mean, don't get me wrong. Sometimes when you're talking a lot, you can need water, or, you have a little scratch in your throat to where you need to cough or something of that nature. That's understandable. But, you want to maintain a great energy and decorum when you're delivering digital content creations for your audience. That is very important. That's very important. All right. Now, technology and time have extensive variations in occurrences, because at the rate technology changes, not many clocks are made to keep count. Furthermore, technology is a continuous mechanism, and what you put in is what will be revealed. Yes, and we just talk about that, right? Especially with your energy levels and the energy that you put in, and your energy will also align with your motives and your intention and all of that. So if your energy levels are not up to par, then chances are you won't be your intention to deliver might be coming from a good place, but considering you still might be a little tired or a little unsure about what the topic you're going to discuss or something like that, you might want to just hold off. Okay. All righty. Now, our efforts have measured sustainable and heavily supported on the stream to still be standing 9 years later. Being able to measure success with meaningful and impactful results allows for growth of digital content, and my library has over 200 original digital works. That's right, over 200, that says a lot, yeah, I really put in a lot of work. That's, again, like I told you, it's a lot of work is required, that's why you have to make sure that you really have that passion for pursuing digital content creation, because it requires a lot of work. It requires a lot of patience, energy, and different uses of technology. So you want to be sure that you do have some form of um knowledge about how technology functions, things of that nature. And if you continuously attend our seminars, we'll be sharing some gems on, technology and things like that. So, you'll get some things from the seminars. And we'll be doing workshops as well periodically, that way to help develop your skill set and help you maintain and coming up with some new creative ideas of how to execute the content that you want to deliver. Okay, moving right along. Thinking like a scientist or try solving for X is the best method to determine what type of digital content to create. What you create is a reflection of your brand, even though it could be for a client. Okay. So that is very important. Yes, you have retained this client, but again, the client they are paying you for a service. So when they are paying you for a service, the only job you have is to carry out whatever this client has asked of you for you to deliver upon that. Now, what you deliver for that client also is going to be a reflection of your brand. Okay. Why? Because you're the one that delivered it for the client. So you also want to make sure that, the client's, what the client wants also aligns with your brand. You don't want to put yourself in any type of compromising situations for clients. You don't want to do that. Yeah, you want to ensure that whatever it is that they're looking for, it aligns with your missions, your values, and your goals for your business also. Again, because this digital content, the brand is you. That client can go on about their business, but what you created for that client still will exist. So you want to make sure that that also is elevating your brand also. And it's something that, guess what, you can put in your portfolio or have on your website to show a potential or prospective client, this is what you've done, previously. Okay. All right. What type of digital content should you create? This is an excellent question and requires some brainstorming and exploring your creativity and your ability to expand your skills. Starting with things that interest you is always a suggestion. Okay. Now you definitely, again, have a little patience, give yourself enough patience and time, because again, this will be something that sets you aside from the rest of the creators. Once you do this will set you aside from everyone else. Okay. All right. Again, it's like, yes, what is your niche? Okay. So What type of category of content will you create? Will your niche be in fashion? Will it be in sports? Would it be in entertainment? Will it be in politics? Will it be in the community? What will your niche be? So you have to figure that out and figure out, hey, is this something that my audience will gravitate to? Is this something that my audience will engage in? So these types of things take a lot of time, and you want to take that necessary time, again, having that patience to put in, because again, what you put into this is what comes out, is what will be revealed to you. Okay. Now, who is your audience? And that's another great one right there. So, who will your audience be? What type of audience are you trying to attract and engage with what that is that you're delivering and bringing to the world? So will your audience be campaign political action committees? Will your audience be community organizations? Will your audience be, a local audience? Will it be worldwide? Would it be just, within your state, within your little town or your city, or, so these are things to think about. Who is your audience? Because that matters. And your audience is what's going to help you stay afloat, because these are the people that will be engaging in your content. And yeah, and these are potential clients also. Okay. How will you engage your audience, right? Will you create photo content, digital content, or use them interchangeably? Okay, so again, how will you engage your audience? What way will you engage them? So once you figure out who that audience is, how will you engage your audience? Will it be with video all the time? Will it be with photos? Will it be both? Would it be just with, your articles that you write? Or, what type of way will you engage your audience? And visuals matter, because you want them to remember what it is that you have presented. You want them to be able to remember, like, oh, I remember I saw that on such and such's website. Yes, this reminds me so much of that. And I'll say, for instance, like my my college professor, um his work is just so amazing that when I go out to like a gallery or something, I'm able to recognize his work. So that's what I'm saying. You want to be able to engage your audience to that level, to where if your audience goes out to some type of showcase or something like that, a art event or things, that they know that, hey, oh, such and such created that. Yes, that's their content. We know what they have to deliver. So you always want to keep that in mind. How will you engage your audience? What type of visuals, what type of sound, how will it look? You make sure you execute from start to finish. Some things can be to be continued, but again, you want to make sure you plan properly and give yourself enough patience in your planning. Okay. All right. Content is king and rules the digital world. Yes, content is king and rules the digital world. That's all you have is content, and you're the digital content creator. So it's your job to ensure that you have what your audience will be looking for, and content is king. So again, you're going to need those external hard drives, just in case you don't have a desktop, But even if you have a desktop, those digital files, I mean, to save it, the storage is really, you use up a lot of storage, so you're still going to need to maintain your files. And that's something I'll say I'm working on right now, is kind of going back to kind of organize all of my files. I mean, it's a lot of files. It's a lot. I have a computer, a desktop computer. I don't even turn it on right now, but that has so many files on there. I have so many CDs with files and things like that. So I want to get my files a little bit more organized. I mean, I do know what type of content I have, but who knows? I can always go back to some of these files and, pick from those and always bring another story out or create some other content, from some of the files that I haven't used, So content is king and rules the digital world. Yes. Aim to create digital content for centuries to come, not just for temporary trends and clickbait. Okay. That's not what you want to do. That's not what you want to do. Okay. If you're passionate about your pursuit in digital content creation, okay, you don't want to create for clickbait. Okay, you want to create, again, you want to have that vintage feel, that classic feel, something that's relevant, something that's timeless. Yes, excuse me, I'm almost done. Okay. Something that's timeless you want to have. So again, you want to be sure that you're patient in your planning, you're patient in your execution, and in your creating, in your creative process. You don't want to aim for clickbait. You want to aim for centuries to come. Okay. Being clumsy in your digital content creation and development will show. So refrain from adopting that attitude. Yes, that's very important. Yes. Okay. Why would consumers be interested in your digital content? So these are some questions that you want to answer. Why would they be interested in your digital content? Okay. So that's up to you. It can be because, the way, your energy, you have a different type of energy, a different type of vibe, who knows what, but whatever it is that kind of got your audience already, that helped engage your audience already, this can kind of, I guess, help in that aspect of why would consumers be interested in your digital content. I'll say for me, they were interested because, again, it was a news show and I was sharing news that people could absolutely use. So that's what it was. All right. Okay. What makes your digital content unique? So again, you want to be sure that whatever you create, it stands out. It sets you aside from the rest of the 100 million YouTube users or whatever platform you'll be delivering to distribute your content on. But yes, what makes your digital content unique? Is it because the segments, you have to figure these things out. All of these is you have to figure out what works best for you. Again, this is why that planning and that research is important, because once you make up your mind on what it is you want to deliver, then that's it. Okay. All right. Now, how often will you produce digital content? These are also things you want to figure out, how often you'll be doing this. Okay. Just want to make sure I'm still Okay, I'm still recording. All right. Okay. All right. Climate and culture for digital content creators. Okay. The climate is warm and can be cold when you have alleged competitors. Okay. So, I mean, it can definitely be real cold if you have alleged competitors. So, again, that content is king. So, you want to ensure the content that you bring is helping you stay afloat. And that way you maintain and stay in a warm climate. And that way you don't have to come across these cold-hearted competition, you know? All right. So the conditions for the climate is contingent upon what your digital content created. Okay. It's contingent on the content you create. So that helps you stay afloat in sort of a kind of a tropic setting, you know, if that's where you wanted the palm trees and things of that nature, and the hibiscus and all of that. If you want to stay in that setting, it's like be sure that you know you maintain that type of delivery and quality for the palm trees and the hibiscus, you know, unless you want to get to where the polar bears and where you're going to need, you know, where the igloos and things are. Okay. All right. The climate can change, so being able to withstand the temperatures is beneficial. Not every digital content clip will be critiqued on the same level. So be willing to accept feedback. And, you know, and that actually helps you grow. You know, the feedback actually helps you grow. And just know it helps you grow with growth and development. It's not to tear you down. It's not to pick you apart. It's not to degrade you, demoralize you, or anything of that nature. I mean, but again, you know, some feedback, you know, it's your discretion in the feedback also. But be willing to accept feedback that helps with growth and development along the way in sustaining yourself on this stream. All right. The culture of the digital economy is very eclectic, engaging, exciting, with endless possibilities and much growth and enhancement along the journey. Many customs and traditions are infused in the creative process. Your curiosity and creativity advance the digital culture. Very supportive, and having a passion for your pursuit of digital content can make your creation sustainable. All right. Art imitates life, but in the digital ecosystem, the content creators bring the inspiration to communities by capturing the essence and beauty of the environment, engaging in meaningful dialogue. Okay. The culture sparks the dialogue in the digital content community. All right. Moving right along. Okay. The desk is dusty in this digital era. All right. So long to the news desk in the digital age. Many people are choosing an alternative method and consume news from their smartphone. Yes. Tablet, laptop, desktop computer, and opting out to watch traditional news. Before the desk generated the dust in the digital era, newspapers were the single source for daily dialogue about political, culture, and social issues. And newspapers dominated the country for the first 30 years of the 20th century. There are only a few nonprofit news stations which require viewers like you to contribute to their broadcasts. And there are many privately owned news organizations which rely on advertising models and other means of revenue for business operations. In December 2016, American journalist and digital pioneer Empress Hill presented the 21st century question to the Federal Communications Commission with regards to closed captioning for online streaming services such as Google's YouTube. All right. Ida B. Wells, an American journalist and news publication owner, with a pioneering stand against the unjust lynchings of African Americans in the 1890s. And in 2014, I was approached by the granddaughter of Ida B. Wells to contribute for the online publication, which she started to carry on her grandmother's legacy. Okay. Now, I had a few articles published, and publishing is defined as placing something on the web. Yeah. So that was a great time. And using your skill to secure your stance on the stream in the emerging market is what you measure. Okay. So, yeah, again, like I said, having that website or having that just social media recognition, or just that social media um set up to where your profile is there, and it shows and showcases what your services are and your creativity that you can bring. Okay. Creating digital content beyond a click. More than a click. As a digital content creator, you want your creation counted in the long haul, with registering it at the Library of Congress Copyright Office. Okay. You want your digital content to be considered for the Hall of Fame. No Hollywood star, because we are bodies of water. We are streaming. So remember, you have to flow on the stream. Okay. And your flow, your frequency, your vibration, the sound waves, all of that, your flow is what keeps you steady on the stream. So again, those waves have up and down. They're up and down, the waves. But you want to be able to ride the waves with your content. You want to be able to ride these waves. So that's you in your content, and you want to ride those waves, into the long haul, longevity. That's what you want. All right. Now, as a digital content creator, you want to create timeless content. Again, as I say, that is always relevant and can replay it for years to come. So again, you want to be able to create something that's timeless, that's relevant for years to come. And again, you want to, if you don't have a website, you want your social media presence out there. You want to at least have some platform that shows that you can do something. You don't want to catfish anyone out here. This is, again, this digital economy, this digital space is very, it's very dangerous. It's very dangerous. So you don't want to discount and discontinue yourself out here on the stream by saying that you can deliver on creating content, and that's not what it is. It's very deceitful. You don't want to do that. Okay. All right. Oh, excuse me. Okay. All righty. And last but not least, overview and insight from 2016 social media conference. Okay. When the Press Link Up social media conference was a time for digital content creators, enthusiasts, media influencers, photographers, editors, videographers, and social media enthusiasts to gather, share some ways they're creating in their respective fields, along with experts to expound upon their experiences and sharing some suggestions for the digital economy. Yes, so that was in 2016, and we are now in 2022, and so much content has been created since then. So we have a lot that we can always go back and share and things like that. Okay. So we had an exclusive honor and opportunity to have the Library of Congress Copyright Office attend the social media conference and present a workshop on copyright. Protecting your digital content in a fake content creation era is vital. Yes. In 1998, Congress passed the Digital Millennium Copyright Act to try to make it illegal to share copyright material on the internet. And Napster is a great example of how this law would have been applied. Yes. So remember when the MP3 players were really hot? Yeah, Napster was really taking over with the sharing of files. Okay. And again, you want to be able to protect your files because again, content is king. And that's what rules in this digital community. Okay. Who does the copyright belong to? From the very moment it is fixed, the picture or video belongs to the creator. Yes, works made for hire, they change ownership. And the symbol for copyright, you do the year, then you have the copyright symbol, and the owner of the copyright follows behind that. Okay, so that's how you know who it belongs to. Digital media is the means for the future of engaging people with current events, politics, social and culture issues. We have come a long ways from the MP3 players upgrading to the iPod, and now several variations of an iPad are on the market, and you can actually use an iPad now to create your digital content. So that is very interesting. So again, thank you so much for tuning in. And be sure to send me an email at the ministry of inspiration at yahoo.com to get a copy of the PowerPoint presentation. Yes, it's a PowerPoint. I made sure I went on ahead and did a PowerPoint, very professional, very professional. We are very professional out here. We're not trying to go viral. That's not our thing. We are being vital to the creative economy. Yes. And ensuring that the digital content in which we create can help us stay afloat and sustain ourselves while we're streaming out here, because we're 9 years in, almost a decade. Yes. So thanks again for tuning in to our first seminar. Yes. And after our, 6 years, this is our first seminar from our social media conference that we had in 2016. So yes, generating more than a buzz by creating digital content. This has been a great seminar. I hope you enjoyed it. Please share your feedback. And again, send me an email if you would like a copy of the seminar's presentation. Peace.